Welcome my good smelling friends, Ify here. I know what you might be thinking. Didn't just Ify post a video about Christmas fragrances? Well, this one is different. This one is about fragrances that smell like Christmas, okay? So these are not my recommendations as fragrance gifts. These are my recommendations as fragrances that smell like holidays, especially like the Christmas holiday. And the first one I want to show you is one that I also mentioned in that video about Christmas gifts. It's Roberto Cavalli Cuomo. This fragrance, it smells in the opening slightly powdery, slightly spicy, mainly floral, but that goes away pretty fast and this becomes a quite cozy but elegant, sweet but spicy, warm but fresh winter scent. This has the performance of being worn outdoors, but this also has the softness and the coziness to be worn indoors. The next fragrance I want to talk about is actually being called Christmas in a bottle or holidays in a bottle. It's Burberry London. Now that fragrance, the combination of tobacco, cinnamon, leather, overall creates this feeling that you are actually sitting next to the Christmas tree alongside with your family. The fragrance is not a strong one. That's why it's best to be worn indoors, and that's how I imagine it being worn, like all the family gathering around the Christmas tree and you smelling like Burberry London. Even the presentation, the bottle itself, it's actually wearing a sweater if you take a look closely. Another fragrance which also spins around the notes of tobacco and cinnamon. These are mainly the notes which creates this winter feeling. This also has vanilla sweetness, which is also something that you do smell in the winter, you know, when you're baking cookies with vanilla flavor. Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford gives that holiday feeling. And don't worry if you don't have the money for that kind of an expensive fragrance. I recommend this alternative, which is really close to that one. This is Amber Oud Tobacco Edition by Al Haramain. This is this is actually spot on clone of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. It's a very festive fragrance. The next one I want to talk about is Viktor and Rolf Spice Bomb. It's fantastic how this fragrance manages to be both fresh and warm, both sexy and cozy. It does have that Christmas feeling to it. It does again have notes of cinnamon, tobacco and leather. And this fragrance is also a strong one which is often recommended to be worn during winter. The price for this one most of the time is a bit high, and that's mainly because this is a good fragrance and it doesn't need to be discounted to be bought by people because it has a great value. But you can find a cheaper alternative in the house of Bulgari, which is Bulgari Man in Black. It may not be as spicy as Spice Bomb, but it's very close. And that was it, everyone. These were the fragrances, the 4 fragrances. I think they have a Christmassy smell to them, and I recommend wearing them during Christmas if you want to amp up that Christmas feeling. Until the next video, you keep smelling great.